I started thinking about running 100 miles when I read the book, Born to Run. It was an amazing book, and it left me with so many different thoughts. Is it possible? Why would people want to do this? I don't know if I could do it. And it's always been in the back of my mind. It's always been something that has been there. It's been kind of tugging at my heartstrings, kind of saying, hey, you haven't achieved this yet. Hey, when are you going to do this? Well, I'm going to tell you straight out. I'm going to do it. However, before I go out and try to do this crazy adventure, we need to understand, how did I get to here? I've been thinking about running a 100-mile race for 7 years. In that time, a lot has happened. I've become vegan, lost 100 pounds, I've gained 40 of it back. I've run 2 marathons, 3 half marathons, a few 10K races, and in the autumn of 2020, I ran my first ultra, a 50-miler I created in the Boyne Valley, 5 minutes from my house. 2014 was the year I decided to go vegan. There were several reasons, but my health topped the list. 2013, I was diagnosed with high blood pressure, 170 over 110, and was living a conventional meat and processed food type of diet. I would eat organic foods at home, but when I left the home, my food choices were less than stellar. After that appointment with the doctor, I decided I needed to make some changes. I started researching, trying to figure out what the best foods to eat were. My intake of vegetables climbed by 150%. I've never eaten so many vegetables in all my life. I was even putting them in my smoothies. I started juicing after I watched the documentary Sick, Fat, and Nearly Dead. I gave up gluten after a week, and I felt my joints and pain start to disappear. Next to go was dairy, and I found all of my bloating and digestive issues started to go away. I also watched the documentary Forks Over Knives, which really helped solidify my thinking. In the first month of my new nutrition regime, I dropped 15 pounds, and I'd never felt better. From there, the effects snowballed. The more I fed my body healthy foods, the better I felt, the more energy I had, and the less pain I was in. Within 3 months, my blood pressure was down to 125 over 80. I watched the documentary Cowspiracy, and that was the final straw. There was no going back once I knew how the system worked. I think everybody in the world needs to see this movie. I found a lot of help and motivation in listening to the Rich Roll podcasts. If you've never heard of him, it's worth a listen. Where As She Glows, Wheat Belly, Grain Brain, Salt, Sugar, Fat, how the big food chains have hooked us. A lot of changes have happened. In October 2015, I ran my first marathon. It was the hardest thing I had done physically in my life. It took everything I had to complete it in a time of 3 hours and 35 minutes. I wanted to get a Boston qualifying time once I reached 25K, but realized that I had to wait for another year. Well, I finished strong, everybody. 3 hours, 33 minutes, and 59 seconds. I think it's unofficial. There I have it. I completed my first marathon. I am a very happy man. 2016 saw me once again try for a BQ, and that ended in 19-kilometer point of the race. Started cramping up. My quads starting to give out on me. Probably about kilometer 19, it got really bad. Boston's obviously out for this run, but it'll happen. Just got to keep plugging forward. I'll finish this. And completed that in 4 hours and 15 minutes. And then everything went downhill. For the next 3 years, I dealt with health, family, financial issues that made it so difficult to find any happiness in running that I literally just quit. Then in the fall of 2019, I realized I needed to make some changes. The weight started coming back, and I started to get scared. In September, I started running using the Maffetone method, aka heart rate training, and discovered that my aerobic system was very poorly conditioned. Over the next 6 months, all I did was run in my MAF zone, 180 minus my age. And I documented every run to see if I was improving. In January 2020, I started my YouTube channel to keep myself accountable in my running and document my running results. After 4 months, I was so convinced that I made a video about my results, and it took off just as COVID hit. This video that I'm putting together right now is going to be geared towards anybody that wants to increase their aerobic efficiency, okay? Anybody who's starting out running, who's maybe walking right now. So I'm gonna try an experiment. My training, my running has been not very good since Hamilton, so I'm gonna try something different. Instead of going out and running really fast and doing all these different types of drills, you know, I've noticed that my training hasn't been great. I've also noticed I've been kind of maybe overtraining. I haven't really seen any improvements. Actually, I just don't feel like running sometimes. Over the summer, I continued my training running 100 miles in 1 week, which was a first for me. Running faster at the same heart rate. And since the 100-kilometer race I had planned to run was canceled, I decided I would run my own ultra. I had the fitness to do so, or I thought so. Running an ultra is hard work, and to run it as fast as you can is even harder. I had a goal, and that was to complete it. That's it. It took me over 12 hours to complete 50 miles, 80 kilometers with 5,700 feet or 1,759 meters of elevation gain.
How you feeling, David?
80 kilometers! Woo! I made it! I made it! I did it! Oh, I gotta stop my watch. 12 hours, 39 minutes, 31 seconds.
Stopping ride.
80.41 kilometers and 1759 elevation gain. That's my heart rate. My average heart rate was 136. Woo! I found the recovery even harder than running the distance. I did my best to slowly start running again, but in November I noticed my knee was bugging me, so I backed off a bit and I took some time off. However, in February 2021, I realized that I needed help. So I started seeing a physiotherapist and a chiropractor. 2001 saw some starts and stops. By the end of the year, I was good to start running again. However, I gained a lot of weight. Okay, the elephant is in the room and we need to talk about it. I've gained a whack load of weight and it's not going to go away if I continue to eat more than I'm burning off. So I'm putting down the gauntlet right now, and I need you guys to call me out. Yeah, well, I don't know how you can call me out, but, you know, just maybe give me nudges and ask me how I'm doing, and maybe in the Facebook group or maybe in the YouTube comments. I need some accountability. It's going to be hard, but today is day one, and there always has to be a day one. There has to be a start, because without a start, there's no beginning, and there's no action that is applied, and I'm not going to get to losing the 40 pounds that I need to lose. And yes, you heard me correct. It's 40. It's been a rough year. January and part of February, I was off to a good start, but then our puppy arrived. At the time, I was training for the Toronto Half Marathon on May 1st. Now I had to change my plans. Time needed to be spent training and walking Pippin, my puppy. Are we gonna go hike? Yeah? We're gonna go hike? I know, we're gonna go hikies. Hey, come on. Come on. Okay, dude. Let's go. You want to go to the river? Yeah, let's go to the river. Let's go to the river. February and March and April was spent hiking in the Boyne Valley on the Bruce Trail. I had doubts that I could run a half marathon without the training I needed. However, I was wrong, and I completed it in a time of 2 hours and 14 minutes. Over the past few weeks, my thoughts of running a 100-miler are back. Could I do it? Could I use my fitness I've gained from hiking to get back to running and then trail running mixed in with hiking? Only time will tell if I have what it takes to go the distance. Yes, 100 miles is far. Yes, it will hurt. Yes to all the unanswered and unasked questions that are swirling around in my head. Let's do this. It's time to get out and run. Follow me along, everybody. It's going to be a wild ride.